What do you guys think of Unmatched Adventures, Tales to Amaze?
I think it works.
Best version of Unmatched.
Yeah, love it.
Works really,
Isn't
really
it
well.
fun?
I'm a sucker for co-op games,
Yeah.
just in general. But the fact that, Unmatched, the system of Unmatched with so many characters that you can choose from to play with, and then to be able to mix all of those together into a co-op adventure, this is perfect. I love this version of it.
The initiative mechanic is so good. Yeah. I love, and then like they're
randomizing the turn order every round.
Which I've even thought it might be fun to play competitive Unmatched with the initiative cards just for fun.
Yeah. Randomizing that and then randomizing the attacks they do.
Yeah.
And then that's such an interesting and fun way to handle this.
Totally. Love it. Love it. I have one note for this, and only one, which is that one of the reasons I love Unmatched, one of the many reasons I love Unmatched as much as I do, is it's design. There's an economy to its design where I feel like it's so slick and stylistic, and it's so easy to set up, and it's like there's no wasted real estate. So to have all of this on the board feels a little not like Unmatched to me. I don't blame them for doing it this way. They did it the way they had to, and it works. I would love it if they would offer an app as an option to randomize your initiative order, to highlight the cards, then go through and highlight when it's end of round. And also, do you remember Dark Tower, how you had the battle grid and you selected the card that you wanted to have the enemy play against you? I think that could be fun too, to present a grid and then whatever you select is what their hand is. Or keep it the way it is, but just put it all in an app so you don't always have to take all of this out of the box. But having said that, that's a minor thing.
I think it's wise of them to have the physical components because there are some purists who are like, no, it's not a board game if there's a mixed medium to it. But I think that's a totally fair suggestion.
And that could be an add-on down the line. I mean, relatively easy to code, I feel like, and whatever.
But
they've already done it. They have it coded for Return to Dark Tower.
Pretty much, yeah.
So they
I've been so spoiled by Dark Tower in the sense that I think playing a board game against an app makes it feel like there's this sort of shadowy presence. You're playing against someone on a screen on the table.
Because with all the animations and sounds, it feels kind of like a person.
But that's the only thing I could think of. Honestly, I play tested this and at first I was like, is the enemy movement clunky? Is it? But then once you get the finished copy, everything is so clean and bright and easy to follow, and this feels so much smoother than even the one I play tested it, and it's just fun, man. I think they knocked it out of the park.
I think so too.
Deal damage equal to the threat level to one hero or sidekick adjacent to Skunk Ape.
Yep. Nobody's adjacent. Nice team. Then the Blob, I think, was next.
Bob says, place an acid token.
Did you say Bob says? Bob?
He said Blob.
Oh, boy.
Place an acid token in Bob's space if there is not one there already.
What about Bob? All right, so he's got more acid down, and then the last one's the Ant Queen, which might be as annoying as the Jersey Devil.
Oh, that's actually bad.
Yeah,
Advance the threat marker one space, then if the threat level is 3 or higher, add a random strange pheromone initiative card to the initiative deck before you reshuffle.
That's annoying. So there are additional initiative cards for the Ant Queen, and they have nasty little effects on them, and we've got to pick one at random.
So she's going to get extra turns.
Extra turns?
Don't like that.
So what all comes in, is this all one co-op adventure with the Mothman, the space guy, and then these guys? Is it just the 4?
There's 6 minions, so you can mix and match a little bit on that.
There's a lot of minions to include in that.
Yeah,
nice.
6 minions is good.
And do you always play with 4 minions, or is it based on the player count?
Yeah. Okay. So it's 40 health and then 4 minions. If you did a solo, it'd be 1 minion and 10 health.
10 health and 1 minion per player in the game.
Interesting.
Got it.
100%. So the cool thing is on the flip side of this board, there's another board with the Martian Invader, which plays similarly with a threat track, but has its own sort of system of mechanic. You're not doing.
We're not protecting bridges.
Right? Yeah, you're actually putting alien invaders.
This looks cool.
This is the slightly more difficult.
Yes, slightly more challenging,
more complicated.
Slightly more complicated, but also really, really fun. I played this twice yesterday and had a blast both times. It's a
look at that little guy.
There are hidden symbols on the underside of 4 discs that go here, and every time a disc is revealed and a symbol is revealed, there are additional card effects on Martian Invader's cards that activate based on sort of like Little Red. based on what symbol has been revealed.
Okay.
And then to clear Martians out of the fields, you have to end a maneuver on a space adjacent to the field, and you can take one Martian off. So it's cool because there's a lot of card effects that make the Martian Invader move around the board.
It took me a second to spot the numbers in the crop circles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's and you're moving it higher and to the highest field and the lowest numbered field. Also, very cool mini for the UFO.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, to answer your question, sorry, I'm rambling here. You get 2 boards, which you can play in normal unmatched or in competitive or in cooperative unmatched. 2 villains, 6 minions, but then you also get 4 heroes. Kyle played 1 from the box. There's also Annie Christmas, Jill Trent, and Golden Bat, all sort of common. What's that phrase? Common.
Pulp?
No, the
in
public domain.
Public domain.
Yeah. Public domain characters at this point. All very thematically satisfying, really interesting mechanics.
Nikola Tesla's a weird one because that's not a public domain character. That is a historical figure.
Do you think his great-great-grandchildren are watching this infuriated?
Yeah.
He never zapped anyone, let alone a Mothman. No, it's like they all play super differently. I've heard a couple people say that this is like the best intro box somebody new to Unmatched could get, and I agree with that because you get all those options. You can still play free-for-all, 2v2, 1v1 on 2 different maps, and cooperative with all those different combinations. I would assume they'll do more of these because this has been such a hit so far. And I wonder too.
I hope they do.
Will the minions also be able to be on any?
I would imagine that they will.
So you can mix and match the minions too.
Yeah,
That's great.
That seems like an obvious thing.
Like the villains are going to be board specific,
Correct,
but the minions
probably flip around.
probably,
I didn't see. I would assume they'd all have a threat track. So the only thing I could think of is Ant Queen references the threat track, but like they'll probably all have a threat track mechanic.
I'm excited to see more Unmatched Adventures because this is absolutely my favorite version of Unmatched.
Yeah, this gets me even more excited. Like, I like playing the PvP, but I don't get, like, 2-player, like, PvP, like, I guess sometimes more than that, but the co-op games I get to have a lot more. So, like, just bringing the whole system in there and that in the co-op, that's my style.
Playing competitive Unmatched, standard Unmatched with 4 people, or honestly any more than 2 people, is a little less than ideal, I think. Just because the game is designed as a kind of a one-on-one balance.
Skirmish,
yeah.
Well, I'm a freak. I'm a freak who loves
we play it free for all, and that's fun.
Yeah.
We play it free for all, and that is fun. It's just not what the game is intended for, and it's not. And I think it works. This is the way to play with 4 players. I think.
I do really, and it's brand new, so it feels really fresh. But I do like getting a big group a bigger group for a cooperative feels really cool because also the villain feels more insurmountable at 40 health. It really makes you have moments where you're like, we need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Defensive 3. During combat, add +1 to this card's value for each revealed strange pheromone initiative card. Any of those revealed yet?
No.
No, not the strange pheromone.
Okay, cool. Revealed this round.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Cool. So you take 1, Ant Queen. I love talking to the board game characters as though they're really here.
And now we get to reveal her next card.
Oh, nice. You have to spend to do that.
I don't have to spend anything to reveal it.
Okay, so the next one is She Can't Be Stopped, which is a defensive 1. And after combat, if the Ant Queen lost the combat, advance the threat marker 1 space. I'm just going to leave this face up.
I was going to say, how much do we hate that card?
I actually don't. It's going to take the threat up to 5. But she's got 7 health.
Yeah.
So we could land a really big hit on that.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm about to run up and smack her with Sweet Christmas.
So I think we let that happen.
Agreed.
And then I'm going to charge my Tesla coil.
Great. Love it.
For a second there, it was like, oh, he's going to kill all our bridges before we can get that health down.
I also forgot.
We're dealing 2 damage per round.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to get our shit together and really start hurting this thing. And you always know deception's in the mix, so there's always a chance to land big hits. But I like the way they kind of count down and get to that. There's also these bonus amazing event cards, which make the game harder.
Oh, what are those?
So you can do any number of these in a game to make it more challenging. So at the start of each round, advance the threat marker 1 space, regardless of what happens. Player effects cannot cause an enemy to leave its space. Add +1 value to all minion attacks, and you must also defeat all minions to win the game.
Ooh.
There might be
So
more in there. I
are
can't
these
remember.
just like
You just add them to the
modifiers?
game, and yep. And you basically put it down to remind you that there's a different rule set.
Gotcha.
But it's just a way to make the game a little bit more challenging.
Cool.
Yeah, sort of like Final Girl, where they have the hard mode and easy
Right,
mode.
right.
So if you're really beating this a lot, which actually, not to brag, I don't think I've lost this yet. Maybe I want to start playing with a few of these to make it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I also like the idea too of randomizing some of the villain movement from time to time, like having a D6, and like if there's an option of where to send the villain, maybe rolling it and having
Instead of
having
giving the
randomness
players
determine your
choice.
fate, just as an extra.
That's what, like in Betrayal, that's how like they do it. It's like, okay, yeah, you roll the d6. It's like, all right, it's a 2. All right, they get 2 movement this round.
Yes,
You could even you could design some sort of a hierarchy system where like it prioritizes the last person to deal damage or
Exactly.
or whoever dealt the most damage this round or something.
I think
like
a behavior
that.
deck could be fun, where it's but that's also something that could be done in a future cooperative set for a specific minion or a specific villain. I've heard Restoration wants to do a licensed version of this too with an IP.
With one of those licenses that they've picked up for this franchise already.
I think there's a lot of exciting stuff in the future for this, but I think in the meantime, this is a really, really awesome starter set that you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah. It doesn't come with Dr. Ellie Sadler. So,
it does not.
So it's a waste of money. But,
we should burn it.
Yeah.
If you have the lighter fluid handy.
This is super. I love this mini too.
Yeah, the minis are super
cool.
nice. Like the boss minis, like you're used to these really good looking.
Yeah,
like,
they're regular
acid
minis.
wash.
acid
Yeah.
wash ones, but the
Right,
color on these bigger ones and the detail.
Yeah,
ooh.
I'm surprised.
So good.
Yeah,
Because it's not just, it's like Mothman is two different colors because they got the red in the eyes, but then also completely different material for the back. Same with this. It's
gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, like everything Restoration does, everything looks incredible, and it's just so sleek. The design. I that's one of the reasons one of the superficial reasons I love their games so much is that I love looking at their components very much, and the same with Dark Tower. So. I can't recommend it enough. If you're interested in trying Unmatched, this is a great place to jump into it.
Absolutely, my favorite version of it.
And if you have a couple sets and you want to add something on, I don't remember what this retails for. I want to say it's like $40. So you also get a lot.
What?
$40.
That's
I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it retails.
That's wild.
It might be
Because
$50.
this is 2 complete games in one box.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just crazy.
With a lot of variability within it. So that's wild.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. If you want to spend more time with us, do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, head on over to twitch.tv/BNB Tabletop and give us a follow there. We play board games live every Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a show we call The Board and Barrel. And we like to keep things interactive. You guys can influence what happens throughout the course of a game with our Buff and Nerf house rules. You can also make predictions on how things are going to pan out, play virtual bingo for a chance to win a free board game of your own, and heckle us and stuff from the chat. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you Sunday night.